Hey, what's up guys? John here. America is now on strike. Aviation and airline and transportation industries halted.
United flight attendants gave an overwhelming thumbs up today to authorize a nationwide strike.
100% of United Airlines flight attendants say they're ready to strike.
You have the hotel industry. Over 10,000 workers just declared strike as of this morning from the East Coast to the West Coast.
The United States marked Labor Day Monday.
10,000 hotel workers are walking off the job during the busy holiday weekend. From Greenwich, Connecticut to Boston, San Francisco, Seattle, and even in Hawaii.
A Canadian railway. 2 companies went on strike, a combined 9,000 workers. This is 1/3 of U.S. imports.
2 major freight railroads in Canada shutting down operations, this all over a contract dispute.
Raising concerns about how it will affect the U.S. supply chain.
In addition to this, UAW, Stellantis, they both went on strike. You had Kaiser that recently went on strike. The teachers union, all these different industries have went on strike in some way, shape, or form over the last 12 months. But when you look at the big picture and you look at what's really going on, you're going to see very clearly that millions of Americans are actually going to be impacted due to what's going on. I think it's fascinating that the conversation in 2021 and 2022 was the Great Resignation. It was a great push to tell people, look, you deserve 15 or 20% more.
Millions of Americans have decided to quit their jobs.
In the month of May alone, 3.6 million Americans quit their jobs. And that's down from the month before, with almost 4 million walking out the door in April, a 2-decade high.
And at that time, inflation started getting out of control for the first time. And they said, you know what? I do deserve this. My company, they're making a lot more money. They should be paying me what I'm worth. And so a lot of people relocated. And you had all the mainstream media outlets pumping this story. But now they're flipping the script. They're saying the Great Resignation is effectively over. Now it's the great talent stagnation where employers' biggest concern is the lack of qualified applicants. This massive push for strikes is going to push everyone into stage 2. What's actually going to happen next, the new America. And in this video, I'm going to break it down and show you with hard facts where this is all going and why I think we're going to see a major shift in this economy because of all this. Please hit the like button, YouTube will share this content, educate more people about what's going on in America's economy. If you'd like to fix your credit, we would love to help you at my company, GreatCreditFast.com. That's GreatCreditFast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative or derogatory items on your credit report, go to GreatCreditFast.com, click the link in the description just below this video, schedule a free call for tomorrow, and check out reviews on Trustpilot. Take a look at this. So this is fascinating. It's not just hotels also. You're talking casinos also on strike. Hotels, casinos, and airports across the United States. And 24 hotels on strike in some major travel destinations. San Fran, San Diego, Hawaii, Honolulu, Boston, Seattle, Greenwich, Connecticut. You look at all these different areas, and then you look at this big story. United Airlines. United Airlines went on strike. Here, United Airlines stresses business as usual amid flight attendants and mechanics contract negotiations. 2 days ago, September 1st. Then you look at this. It's the last day of the largest healthcare strike in history, right? That was last year. But just follow how this situation's ramping up and where this is all going. And so this UAW strike, it ends with a 25% wage increase potential, right? Potential. Now, as this is continuing to ramp up and, Volkswagen factories in Germany could be affected by layoffs, is spreading across the world. This presents a massive opportunity for these large corporations, which I personally believe the future is big business. These big businesses are going to get a lot bigger, and it would be way too expensive to fire these individuals. But if they can get these individuals to go on strike, and they can get some actors in there and really push this movement towards saying, you know what, you deserve more. You deserve a better life. This greedy corporation, they're taking advantage of you. It kind of reminds me of this story saying the same thing. I mean, that was the story the last couple of years. And so as this kind of moves in this direction, the employer can replace the employee. The employer can say, you know what, we're going to hold back on this negotiation, or we'll agree over the course of the next 3 years, and they have a bunch of different clauses where the employer can cancel the contract as they begin to find better talent, more talent, maybe new talent that has just recently arrived here and at a lower wage. And so when you start to kind of pay attention to this, you look at what BBC said, they're saying US salaries are falling. Employers say compensation is just resetting, right? It's just resetting. So this conversation around how employees deserve more, it's not really relevant. The employer is only looking at how much value they can extract from hiring that employee. If the value is not there, the employer is going to find a cost-effective way to eliminate that problem. That's just the truth. When you look at what I think is going to happen, I believe that when you look at all these industries and you look at where AI is right now at a unique place. There's a hotel in New York City called the Yotel, where everything is fully automated. You check in, you check out, you do everything by yourself in a self-serve kiosk, right? There's only 2 workers in the front desk and there's 2 security guards. You're probably talking 200, 300 rooms in this hotel. They're getting this operation down from maybe a couple of years ago, they need 15, 20 workers to now 5 or 6 or 7, right? They're going to continue to drop their headcount to increase profitability. They're going to automate everything because at the end of the day, data and information is more valuable than gold. And the more they can push people into automation, the more valuable that information becomes, right? And so when you have everyday employees working at companies where they can replace these employees with cheaper labor and they can also automate this, it's going to make sense why all these industries are going on strike. They say jobs that are going to be most affected by AI: administrative, content writers, coding, customer service, right? Drivers, legal, marketing, manufacturing, right? Manufacturing jobs. So you look at where all these strikes are, they're heavily concentrated in these industries. And teachers, it says teachers, if this is last 5 hours, 9 hours ago, 4 days ago, that they're issuing mass layoffs. Teachers are losing their jobs. Coachella Valley, Unified School District faces teacher layoffs amid loss of pandemic relief funds. Schools are bracing for widespread teacher layoffs, right? California pushes back. You have all these layoffs. They're happening in all these industries in which they're predicting. Travel and tourism, translators, finance, graphic designers, engineers, human resources. So you kind of just follow this and supply chains, and you realize that these strikes are very likely to the benefit of the large corporation and not against these corporations. People would like to believe that it's going to be the employee that's going to be the one steering the ship here. But when in history has that ever happened? Saw this, I thought this is very interesting. It says, which is why negotiations typically include a demand for back wages. This is about going on strike. Unions will put together a strike fund if they believe that's the way the vote will go. You will get some, usually small stipend for walking the picket line. Your local can get help from the national organization, and it's possible that pro-union groups and others who will want to help might contribute, but no, you're not getting paid, and it's unlikely that the stipend will be close to what your wages were. So you will likely save like crazy if you have an upcoming negotiation that might not go well. Management can play the game about lasting workers, but keeping the jobs inside is, they have the authority, right? So when you look at this entire situation, you have to ask yourself, what are the odds? What are the odds that all these very, very, very large corporations with different employees and different Teamsters groups and different negotiation companies and these different facilitators are all not on the inside here? They don't know what's going on here. You think about it. If you had a company, you had 10,000 workers like this hotel, these hotel chains. You had 9,000 for the Canada Railway. You have 10,200 here for the hotel workers across 25 hotels. You have to ask yourself, wouldn't it make a lot more sense to try to get these workers to go on strike? So maybe you can eliminate 5,000 of them, 3,000 of them. Otherwise, you'd have to pay all these different bonuses or penalties. You'd have to issue all these different, back wages and negotiations. But if they end up going on strike and you replace them, it's just a real easy way out. And that's what I think a lot of these corporations are doing. I think they're positioning themselves to where they can save billions and billions of dollars and automate the entire process. And I think that the conversation that has been around about the Great Resignation is was planned for a very, very, very long time. What do you think about this situation? Do you think we're walking into a scenario where millions of people are going to be losing their jobs over the next year, 2 years, 3 years because of all the strikes that have happened recently, the last year or so, and that are happening now and will likely continue to happen tomorrow and the next day? Let's talk about this. If you'd like to fix your credit for what I believe is going to be the greatest wealth transfer in American history, we'd love to help you at my company, greatcreditfast.com. That's greatcreditfast.com. If you have late payments, medical bills, charge-offs, foreclosures, bankruptcies, repossessions, or any negative or derogatory items on your credit report, go to greatcreditfast.com. Click the link in the description just below this video. Schedule a free call for tomorrow. We'll check out reviews on Trustpilot. Catch you next video.